Okay, so just to get into it, just a few brief remarks before we get into the program here, and welcome everybody to the show this year. I want to thank everybody for coming down today. I do want to just give recognition. I got a few of my fellow directors are in the crowd. Can you just hold your hand up or give a Yahoo or? Okay, thank you guys for coming. I just want to recognize some of the past presidents of Agribition that helped build this show into what it is. Can you just give a wave? I know there's a few of you out there, so anyway, just want to thank for attending here today and being down. To me, with Agribition, it's always especially when you get in the burning of the brand and the kickoff, and we've got the whole week ahead of us where we've got over 130 events. We're going to have about 145,000 people kind of coming through, attending those different events throughout the week. We'll have over 1,000 international people that actually register with us. 7,000 school kids, which you're definitely noticing coming in behind you there, which is actually up a couple thousand over last year. So the engagement that we've had from the education system has been absolutely terrific. The one thing I kind of just walking around and been here the last couple days, but stuff that stands out, and one thing that we really strive for at the board of directors is that we want to make Agribition a show for everybody. We know that it's an agriculture-based event, started around the beef cattle, but we've got machinery, we've got rodeo, we've got alpacas, we'll have sheep, we've got bison, we've got Texas Longhorns back in the Stockman's Pavilion. There's a lot going on. But I do want to recognize, and we have a very diverse crowd coming through here. And I want to welcome some of the new Canadians that are coming through here today. I think it's terrific that you're here, and I think it's really important to get a first-hand exposure to Agribition, to the agriculture production system that we have here in Canada. We have a world-class food production system, and I think sometimes that is underestimated because we take it for granted. But just want to thank everybody for taking the effort to come down and just to experience that. So I know you guys don't want to listen to me talk all day, so we'll get on with some of the proceedings here. So in a moment, I'll ask you to rise for the entrance of Her Honor, the Honourable Bernadette McIntyre, the Lieutenant Governor of Saskatchewan. And a few technicalities on that. Just following the entrance, please remain standing for the Vice-Regal Salute. The salute includes portions of God Save the King and O Canada. And please note that the salute is played and not sung. And then I'll just ask everybody to rise. And I recognize that there isn't really too many of you standing at this event, but if everybody please rise. Her Honor, the Honourable Bernadette McIntyre, Lieutenant Governor of Saskatchewan. Her Honor, led by the aide-de-camp, enters and proceeds to her seat. I'm here. We don't have a seat, so she'll remain standing. So when Her Honor has reached her place, the Vice-Regal Salute will begin. Is that good? Okay, well, thank you. And it's my pleasure to invite the Lieutenant Governor, Bernadette McIntyre, forward for remarks.
Thank you, Michael. Minister MacDonald, Minister Harrison, Mayor Bashinsky, Miss Rodeo Agribition 2025, distinguished guests. Good morning, everyone. Bonjour, Tonsei. Thank you for the warm welcome. As our monarch's representative in the province, it is my privilege to bring you greetings on behalf of King Charles III, the King of Canada. I'm delighted to be with you here for this special ceremony in Treaty 4 territory and the homeland of the Métis. I'm grateful to the Canadian Western Agribition and Sean for the invitation and thrilled with the honor of participating in burning of the brand. This is exciting for a farm girl from Bethune. I am proud of my background, and I look forward to Agribition every year and the energy that it brings to our great city. Of course, it's the largest livestock show in Canada. I have attended Agribition, every single Agribition to date. Yes, I'm a little old. First, I attended as a teenager with my dad and brothers, then as an adult to see the livestock and old friends, and of course, on school tours with my kids. Some years, I only had time to hit a few highlights and maybe catch the rodeo. However, there were several years I was a volunteer courtesy shuttle driver. I especially enjoyed meeting interesting people from all over our country and the world. This is not a surprise because, as you know, Agribition hosts guests from over 70 countries. I soon learned that what you hear in the courtesy shuttle stays in the shuttle. And it was never a dull moment when driving, and it was often much colder than now. We started at 6:30 a.m. and it was often close to -30. So a shout out to all of this year's volunteers who I know will be excellent ambassadors and hosts for our city, province, and country, to the thousands of guests this week. We could not hold a major event like this without you. Your involvement is invaluable to Agribition's success. Agribition is important to all of us because agriculture plays vital economic and cultural roles in our province. I'd like to acknowledge the staff and board of directors of Canadian Western Agribition, including the past presidents and board members. I appreciate your ongoing efforts to support and promote livestock producers and the span of agricultural industries. Congratulations on continuing the legacy of excellence which began over 50 years ago. Your leadership and commitment benefit the farming and ranching communities as well as Saskatchewan's economy. And before I close, I want to say I am wearing a vest made from Saskatchewan wool, made here in Saskatchewan. So I'm very proud of the wool industry as part of our agricultural industries. So in closing, I wish all the Agribition 2025 contributors, including staff, volunteers, vendors, exhibitors, competitors, speakers, entertainers, sponsors, and so many others, a memorable and successful show. Thank you. Merci. Hi, hi.
Thank you, Honourable Bernadette McIntyre, for those remarks. Next, I'd just like to welcome to the podium up here is the Minister for Agriculture, Agri-Food Canada, the Honourable Heath MacDonald.
Thank you, everyone. It's a hard act to follow because I just heard how much Her Honor volunteered at this event for a long time, and she finds it hard not to volunteer now, I hear. So congratulations to you, too, as well. I'm excited to be here today. From the first time I met Daryl Harrison, he kept saying, you got to come to Agribition. So I said, okay. So we're here, Daryl, and I'm looking forward to it. Your Honor, Lieutenant Governor McIntyre, Secretary of State Belanger, my colleague, Minister Harrison, Your Honor, Mayor Mashinsky, the leadership of the Canadian Western Agribition. You're the ones behind this event, this great event for almost 55 years. It takes a lot of volunteer hours and a lot of time, but I haven't got the opportunity to walk through this event yet, but I'm certainly looking forward to it. And as I was walking up, I seen all the different booths. But most importantly, what I did see is when I was standing over there, the busloads of kids coming in. And I think that says a lot about agriculture and where it's going, and it's generational, and how much we can teach not just the children, but also society as a whole, how important it is to the economy of Canada and the economy of our rural parts of our country. So it's extremely important. I want to give a little shout out too to, I had the opportunity to go to Winnipeg and watch Saskatchewan, or the Winnipeg Bloom Bombers in Saskatchewan with Minister Harrison and Minister Kostishin. And I know how big a fan Minister Harrison is of Saskatchewan Roughriders, and I'll tell you, I was texting him on the day of the game, the day before the game, and told him good luck, and we really enjoyed watching that game. But congratulations to everybody in this province, because I think it was long overdue. It's a premier showcase, what we're at here today, and it certainly puts a lens on how important agriculture is. The genetics, the bioscience, everything is here. It's in one place, and it gives everybody an opportunity to network. 70-some countries, over 1,200 people last year from those countries. That says a lot. I mean, it is the place to be, and I'm certainly glad to be here, and I look forward to getting to know more and learn more, and certainly from what I see already, I'm pretty excited, almost excited as those kids getting off those buses to get a day off of school to get me at Ottawa for a day. So I appreciate being here and having the opportunity, and I look forward to chatting with many of you in the future. Thanks.
Thank you, Minister MacDonald, for those kind remarks, and certainly like to congratulate you on your new role as the Minister of Agriculture, Agri-Food for Canada. Obviously, we think that is a very high-profile role, and we welcome you into that position. And as your first time to Agribition, we'll give you the royal tour. Literally, you got Bernadette beside you representing the King, so you will get the royal tour. So next, I just welcome to the stage is the Honourable Minister of Agriculture for Saskatchewan, Darrell Harrison.
Thanks, Michael. Well, we're here. It's the most exciting week of the year. Everybody's got it marked on their calendar, and it's great to be a part of it. Welcome to Her Worship, Bernadette McIntyre, His Honor Heath MacDonald, or the Honourable Heath MacDonald, and His Worship Chad Baczynski, as well as Agribition royalty. And there's many of you throughout the crowd. But none other than Miss Rodeo Agribition, who is now our Miss Rodeo Canada, and we're so proud to have a Saskatchewan representative. On behalf of the Government of Saskatchewan, it's an honor to be here to help kick off Canadian Western Agribition 2025. Thank you. I want to acknowledge Sean and the Canadian Western Agribition team for their work in organizing and delivering this world-class event. Each year, more than 1,200 international guests and over 100,000 visitors pass through the gates during Canadian Western Agribition. It is the biggest livestock show in Canada. This and thanks to some important people, the ranchers and farmers who make this show what it is. And they deserve a big round of applause showing up year after year. These farmers and ranchers are leaders in the industry, not just provincial leaders, but global leaders as well. You have a vital story to tell, and telling about Saskatchewan's agriculture is the best way to do it. And a key part of the reason our agriculture industry continues to grow and evolve. So thank you once again. That is why the Government of Saskatchewan is proud to be partnered with Agribition since its inaugural show more than 50 years ago. This long-standing relationship reflects our shared commitment to agriculture, innovation, and community. Agriculture continues to play a central role in our province's identity, economy, and future. You can see that spirit alive and well every year at this event. It's in the people, the ideas, and the energy throughout the show and in the barns. Saskatchewan's producers, businesses, and researchers have a strong track record of putting good ideas into motion. Thanks to your efforts, Saskatchewan is not only reaching but in some cases exceeding our agriculture growth plans. Saskatchewan's agri-food exports reached $18.5 billion in 2024, the second largest on record. This is in thanks to the hard work of our producers across the province, including those showcased here at Agribition. It is evident in the quality of every product delivered, whether it's destined for a table here at home or markets overseas. Agribition is the perfect platform to showcase why Saskatchewan is leading and succeeding. I encourage you all to make the most of this week ahead, take part in the events, engage with industry peers, and help promote Saskatchewan's agriculture sector to new audiences. Most of all, enjoy the week, and thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Minister Harrison, for those kind remarks as well. Next, I'd like to welcome to the stage here His Worship, the Mayor of Regina, Chad Bashinsky.
Well, good morning, everyone. Just a little bit down. I'm thrilled to join you all for the main kickoff event for Agribition 2025, the Burning of the Brand. On behalf of the City of Regina and my council colleagues, it is such pleasure to be here with you today for this incredible event right here in our great city. I'd like to acknowledge a few folks today. Secretary of State Belanger, I saw you in the crowd here. Her Honor, the Honorable Bernadette McIntyre, thank you very much. I know we talked about bull riding, but I think we decided sheep riding would be the max we'd hit up today. Board Chair Michael Latimer, thank you for emceeing today, and to all the board members in attendance. The Honorable Heath MacDonald, Federal Minister of Agriculture and Agri-Food, thank you for being here today. I think you'll have a great experience at Agribition. The Honorable Daryl Harrison, thank you for your ongoing support for this event. And of course, Sean Kindop, CEO of Agribition. What an amazing event you have going today and this week. So I want to start by announcing that we have officially proclaimed the week of November 24th to 29th as Agribition Week in Regina. This proclamation reflects the pride we feel in hosting one of the most significant agricultural events in the world. Agribition is the Stanley Cup showcase of livestock and innovation, and a cornerstone of our economy. Each year, this event brings tens of thousands of visitors to Regina, generating millions of dollars in economic activity for our hotels, restaurants, shops, and local businesses. Beyond the dollars and cents, Agribition strengthens our province's agriculture sector, builds trade relationships, and highlights Saskatchewan's role as a leader in feeding the world. Locally, it connects our community to its agriculture roots. Nationally, it positions Regina as a hub for Canadian agriculture. And internationally, it opens doors for partnerships and cultural exchange that reach far beyond our borders. To our guests joining us from across Canada and around the globe, welcome to Regina. We are so proud to share our hospitality, our prairie spirit, and our commitment to agriculture with you. Whether this is your first time at Agribition or your 50th, you are part of a tradition that continues to grow stronger every year. And I want to extend a huge thanks again to Sean Kindop, the CEO of Agribition, and his entire team. Year after year, they pour their hearts and souls into making this event a success. Their dedication ensures that Agribition remains not only a world-class agricultural exhibition, but also a celebration of community, innovation, and culture. To the people of Regina, Agribition is your event. It's an opportunity to experience the very best of agriculture, entertainment, and education right here at home. So I encourage all residents to come out this week, bring your families, meet the exhibitors, enjoy the rodeo, and take pride in being part of something that puts our city on the world stage. As we kick off Agribition 2025, let's celebrate the strength of our agriculture community, the vibrancy of our city, and the connections that we build across borders. Together, we make Regina not only the home of Agribition, but the heart of agricultural excellence worldwide. So thank you, and let's have a fantastic Agribition week.
Yeah, once again, thank you for those kind words, Mayor Baczynski. You used the term in there, the prairie spirit, and that really stood out to me. And I really think that Agribition embodies that. And I just can't, I guess I haven't heard that term before, and I just think that's terrific. And we're going to strive to make sure we live up to those expectations. So thank you for those words. Next, I'd just like to introduce to the stage the CEO of Canadian Western Agribition, Mr. Sean Kindaw.
There's a lot of people here. I want to start off by just again thanking all of you for being here. Those of you that know me know that I'm incredibly passionate about this event. But I got to give a shout out to our team, our volunteers, our board of directors, our crew. This show gets set up very fast. I also want to give another shout out to the entire team at Rio. I know we pushed them quite hard, again, to be quite quick on everything they do. And again, I know that sometimes we could be a pain in the butt, but we really appreciate all your guys' patience in working with us. Our team works 51 weeks of the year for this 52nd week. This event is something we're so proud of. Anytime you have federal ag ministers, representatives to the king, provincial ministers, mayors, city councilors, I think it speaks volumes to what this show is. Today we're very honored. Today's free admission. Again, we want to be able to give back to the communities. That's very important to us. We can't do that without fantastic partners like CN, so I want to give them a round of applause and thank them for allowing everybody in here today. With that being said, again, I want to reiterate what everybody else is saying too. Again, this event doesn't happen without people in the community coming, buying tickets, supporting us, whether that's being sponsorship. I just need you to know that all of the support that you guys do for us doesn't go unnoticed, and we're greatly appreciated. So what I would like to say is, again, what I want to challenge everybody with this week, again, get through the barns, experience the show, have a paralyzer, take in the rodeo, but again, all that Agribition is, again, we want to continue to build on the traditions that have already been built as well as create new traditions. But with that, there's another special person in the crowd that we do want to recognize today. I know that her name has been thrown around a little bit today, but what I do want to say before she does come up is this woman has done, when you talk about determination and a will to win, which is, again, I don't know how, I'm going to screw up the quote. She wants to win. I'm not even going to try the quote. I forgot it. She has put on tens of thousands of miles across North America, a lot of it on her own dime, to represent this brand, to represent this province, and to represent this city, just again for the pure passion. So what I do want to welcome is Abby Hardy, the Miss Rodeo Agribition 2025 and the Miss Rodeo Canada 2026 Lady in Waiting.
Wow. I was going to try not to get emotional, but being here a year ago, standing on this stage, actually right in this spot, I gave my Miss Rodeo Agribition speech, and to be back here representing this event, look at this. This is incredible. The people in this room and what I've represented all year it holds such a special place in my heart, and I still have no words, actually, to describe what it meant to me to be standing in Rogers Place in the dirt and to win the Canadian title representing Canadian Western Agribition. I still can't explain how much it means to me to represent this brand, and to carry that with me throughout my year as Miss Rodeo Canada coming up is going to be so special. And Canadian Western Agribition is forever going to be my home, and I am just so thankful for every single individual in this room and everybody who got me to where I'm standing today. It is such a blessing to be here. So with that, I would like to introduce myself. I am Saskatchewan. I am more than just grain silos and gravel roads, more than land and latitude. I am skies that stretch forever, people who ride for something greater than themselves. Okay, so this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be because Bree told me that I was giving my speech like 3 days ago. So I'm going to start that again because I feel like this speech absolutely needs to be said on an Agribition stage and it needs to be done right. So let me introduce myself. I am Saskatchewan. I am more than grain silos and gravel roads, more than land and latitude. I am skies that stretch forever, people who ride for something greater than themselves. I can't get past that part, and I'm so sorry. Bree, can you grab me my phone, please? Because this is actually ridiculous. I promise you guys I actually know what I'm doing. This is so silly that I can't give this speech here, but I know that this room is filled with everyone that knows exactly what this show means, and when I gave this speech at Canada, I don't know if there was actually a person in that room other than Bree and Kylie that knew what I was talking about. So to be standing here today in front of all of you makes this a lot harder than what I thought it was going to be. And I actually was prepared. I actually said this speech this morning in my hotel room, but saying it in front of all of you is much more difficult than what I thought it was going to be. And I do apologize because I do actually know what I'm doing. I am Saskatchewan. I am more than just land and latitude, more than grain silos and gravel roads. I am skies that stretch forever, fields that feed a nation, and people who ride for something bigger than themselves. But if you really want to know who I am, come visit me in the final week of November. That's when my soul stirs. When the fences get mended, the trailers roll in, and the city of Regina puts on her boots and goes western. That's when Agribition begins. And rodeo and agriculture, they don't just shake hands. They become one. You'll hear me in the rumble of the hooves and in the crack of a gate and in the laughter of a proud ranching family as they watch their child step into the arena for the first time. You'll see me in the barns, where the scent of hay and livestock is more perfume than inconvenience, where generations gather, boots dusty, hearts full. Out here, we don't separate the rodeo cowboy from the cattleman. We don't split the canola grower from the barrel racer. Out here, we were born to do both. I was raised by hands that work from sunrise to starlight, hands that knew the feel of a rope and the rhythm of a harvest, hands that could calm a colt and fix a combine. Long before there were arenas, rodeo lived in my pastures. My first cowboys didn't ride for glory. They rode because the work demanded it. But even then, the spirit of rodeo stirred. They started racing each other in the fields, roping for fun, and riding broncs just to prove they could. And before long, rodeo wasn't just a pastime. It was a way of life. By the 1920s, my town, Swift Current, Maple Creek, and Moose Straw were hosting rodeos before most folks even knew what a pickup man was. And in 1971, I gave the West a gift, Canadian Western Agribition, a showcase of agriculture, livestock, and raw, untamed rodeo pride. That same pride lives on in legends who call me home. Like Wanda Rain, a cowgirl who dared to ride fast and speak loud, even when the world told her to sit still. Like Tom Reeser, a man whose knowledge of agriculture and livestock shape ranching in ways that still echo today. And the Métis and Indigenous people who brought culture, ceremony, and tradition to my soil long before the first rodeo program was even printed. These names aren't just history, they are me. They are the reason I stand here today, proud, unshaken, and alive. So know that when the final week of November rolls in and that spotlight hits the dirt, I am not just hosting an event. I am hosting a homecoming. A gathering of people who still believe that hard work matters, that tradition lives on, and that rodeo and agriculture are not separate stories, but one mighty thundering tale. So to the young women who stand here before me, those who carry the crown and those who carry the flame, know that when you speak on our values, saddle up with pride, and step into the arena, you're not just representing yourself. You're representing me. I am Saskatchewan. I am the dust in the arena, the sunrise over a frost-covered field, and the roar of a rodeo crowd, and the quiet pride of a rancher watching it all from the stands. So know that when you ride with glory, grace, and grit, I am riding with you always. Thank you. I am Saskatchewan. Thank you. I apparently just had to get past that first part because this speech meant so much to me, and as I was writing it, prepping for the Miss Rodeo Canada competition, it meant so much to me to be able to get up on that stage and talk about something that I was so passionate about, and to be able to bring light to what we do here at Canadian Western Agribition. And again, I just want to thank Bernadette for all of her years of service. She is incredible. She is what Agribition embodies, and honestly, if I could grow up to be anyone in this crowd, it would be her. So thank you all, and happy Agribition Week. It is going to be a fabulous week.
Thank you, Abby, and I think that was absolutely worth waiting for. Let's have another round of applause for Abby. And she's been an absolutely tremendous representative for Agribition throughout the past year, and we wish her all the success as she moves forward as Miss Rodeo Canada for the next year. We couldn't be more proud of what she's accomplished. So I'll invite the Honourable Bernadette to come to the stage, and we'll burn the brand. Okay, well, we'll declare the 2025 Agribition open.
Okay. Okay, somebody asking something?
What is Agribition for you?
Agribition is the salt of Saskatchewan. It is, as our rodeo queen said, it depicts everything that's wonderful about Saskatchewan. The history of agriculture goes hundreds of years back, and it includes everyone, our Indigenous people, all of us that have come to this province, and we grow and raise the food that feeds the world. And Agribition brings the whole world to Regina, Saskatchewan for a week. So it's one of the most important weeks in Saskatchewan, and it's right here in our capital city. So, and there's a lot of business. It has huge economic impacts. We have great cultural festivities around it. So it's one of my favorite weeks in the whole year.
What's the show that you enjoy the most here in Agribition?
Oh, you know, I like being on the floor. I like being around the barns, seeing the judging. Of course, when they do the grand royal champion, it is always the pinnacle of the event. But there's so much more, and agriculture in Saskatchewan is so diverse now. You know, we have wool, we have all kinds of different grains and, you know, chickpeas and lentils. And of course, we used to just have Black Angus and Hereford, and now we have such a wide variety of livestock that we raise, and championship livestock. And then of course the rodeo is fun, whether you're competing or you're a fan. It's just so much fun. And no, I'm not bull riding with the mayor.
What about a sheep?
Yeah, we might consider a sheep.
Your Honor, you had mentioned you had attended every single Agribition. Have you ever thought in all that time you'd be up there burning of the brand?
No, I have. I have attended every single Agribition. It started, I believe, in 1971. And I lived on a farm just outside Bethune. And one of our neighbors, Gary Anderson, is a previous president of Agribition, and it started with the livestock producers. It evolved out of the bull sale that took place before that. And so, of course, everybody in and outside of Bethune went to Agribition. So I started going with my dad, and I love the animals. And so I've come every year. And I remember one year, I hadn't gotten here. It was Saturday, and I just said to my husband, you've got to look after the kids. I'm heading to Agribition because I haven't been there yet. So it's a priority. And it's just a huge cultural and economic event for all of our province, and it has an impact Canada-wide. Like it was wonderful to see the Minister of Agriculture here, the federal minister, and the Bucky Belanger is here, and of course our provincial government is always very well presented. Yeah.
If you could describe Agribition in one word, what would it be?
It's fun. If you say one word, it's just fun. If you come to Agribition and you don't have fun, maybe your fault. But it's a lot of hard work. I do applaud all of the organizations, all of the volunteers. I know they say it's only 1 week, but it is a huge, huge show that is international. It is worldwide. And I think that sometimes we don't celebrate ourselves enough in Saskatchewan and in rural Saskatchewan. We are world class, and this week just shows it off for the whole country and the whole world.
How does it feel to see the... Sorry, I gotta ask, how did you feel with the brand? Do you feel it went through okay?
I think so. I was so excited because I've been seeing people do this for decades. And when Sean called me and he said the board would like you to burn the brand, and I go, really? And so I never ever dreamed I'd get to burn the brand at Agribition. You know, usually I was in the barns, or as you heard, driving a courtesy shuttle as a volunteer. And so very, very exciting. And they will, I'll get to keep that eventually. They cut it up and they give it to me, so.
And Robert, if I could critique your branding skills, it was much cleaner and neater than Corey Mace last year. It looked like you knew what you were doing up there.
Well, I can't say that I've branded before, but I was getting lots of coaching hints. And of course, I'm a little smaller than Coach Mace.
That's true.
So maybe had a little softer touch. But it's, it's just wonderful. So what a great time in Saskatchewan for us. You know, a Grey Cup win. Agribition is sold out and more. There's a waiting list for the exhibitors to be here. And the weather's great. You know, so as I mentioned, I've been a volunteer driver for a few years, and usually at 6:30 in the morning, it's been pretty chilly. You know, getting up and getting out to get your vehicle down to the hotels to pick up people, and so.
How many years do you recall no snow during Agribition?
Not very often. There has been the odd other year that it's held off, but mostly there's snow and it's fairly cold. So driving could be a little treacherous, but we had a wonderful time. The volunteers have a great time. They're wonderful ambassadors for the province and the city, and you meet people from all over the world, and they're excited to be here. And the restaurants in the city do a wonderful, wonderful job of hosting when people aren't on site here. So it's just it's a great week. It's unbelievable. I hope all of you get a chance to be around the event and see everything that's going on.
Can you say something about Agribition in French?
Très bon. Sorry, my friend. I read French. I don't speak it very well.
Es mismo para mí en español.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again. I saw you were on the green. Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Are we good to go?
We're just getting...
Oh, I'm sorry.
I wasn't pushing you back. I was pulling you up.
No worries.
All right.
switch hands.
We're good.
Oh,
All right.
oh my God, Jeremy, that's great.
You guys going to do questions? You want to do a statement?
You guys got something you got prepared or not?
Sorry.
First, Mr. Harrison, a year ago, you were kind of blindsided by some tariff talks. What are your thoughts a year later as we approach Agribition here?
Well, unfortunately, we're still talking about tariffs, and I think there's been some positive steps. Especially when it comes to China. I think now that the Prime Minister is directly engaged in that, and that's what we need, and hopefully we'll get some movement on that very soon.
And Minister McLeod, any thoughts on the tariffs?
Minister MacDonald? Well, look, I think Daryl said it best. I think we're in a geopolitical situation where we see now the Prime Minister is engaged. I've been to China. We formed a working group with canola stakeholders. We're meeting in Ottawa again for the first time, actually, on Thursday evening. So we're moving. I think we're moving in the right direction. I think re-engaging with China. There's been nobody really over there since 2018. Having that opportunity and leaning on a little bit of an open door, I think, is extremely important. So we're going in the right direction, but it's all hands on deck, and the support that the province has showed from Mr. Harrison to his premier has been very good. So we're all speaking, basically drinking out of the same trough. Maybe I'll use that phrase today.
I guess how important it is to have. Can you tell us how important?
Look, one of the first times I met Daryl, he said, you'll have to come to Agribition. And this, I get to travel all over the world and do a lot of amazing things, but what excites me most is getting boots on the ground in places like this and talking to farmers and ranchers, producers, just seeing the reaction and how important it is to not only just to Saskatchewan, but Canada as a whole. I mean, agriculture needs to be put on a stage like this more often, and this is certainly a big stage, and I'm happy to be here.
I guess you mentioned. Tell me about the Carney and the Indian government are working towards that trade deal at this point. Can you tell me how you're feeling about things at this point and how it's going?
Well, I think you're seeing a prime minister and a government that's re-engaging and recalibrating, and whatever word you want to use. I think we see the economic opportunities, and I think we have to get back to ensuring that we drive the economy so we can pay for social programs in this country. And agriculture and agri-food is going to play a significant part in that. It's close to 7% of our GDP. So it's got to be front and center, and engaging with those countries is extremely important. They talked about doing an economic strategy together. So I think it's important, and we'll continue to progress in that area.
What role does Saskatchewan play in helping get that trade deal?
Saskatchewan's one of the biggest producers in the country. Very significant. I think it's very important for them, and it's very important for us as a government to make sure that we put our right foot forward in consultation with this government that's here and Mr. Harrison and his premier. We need to keep the lines of communication open, and partisan politics, there's a day for that, but right now we're in a geopolitical situation. We need all hands on deck, and I can't say enough good things about Minister Harrison and the premier and what they're doing for Saskatchewan.
Do renewed trade talks with India offer any sign of relief on canola?
Well, I think it's certainly opening the door. I think the Prime Minister has said he'll go to India. So he met with Modi. Minister Anand has been to India. Minister Sidhu. So we're pulling out all the stops. We need to establish those relationships.
What gave you the greatest sign of confidence out of your trip to China?
I think it was my first trip as a Minister of Agriculture, and after a meeting with the GOC Minister, Minister Sun, I said to the ambassador, I said, how did that meeting go? And she said, I've never heard them have such an open conversation. And it's usually very structured in China. When you're dealing with them, they're very tight-lipped. I think it's part of their strategy, but I can tell you we had an open conversation. We met with the Canadian-Chinese Business Council there that represent about 250 some businesses in both China and Canada. And their response basically was, what more could we be doing as a government? What more could we be doing as a country? And they said, you're here. So it's extremely important to show up.
Livestock veterinarians are struggling to access drugs for animals. They're calling on the federal government to streamline processes, work with the U.S., work with the European Union to get these drugs in their hands. What is Ottawa doing on that front?
Well, I met with the World Veterinarian Association about 3 weeks ago, and just last week, I met with the veterinarians of Canada, Board of Directors, and we had that discussion. So we're going to work hand in hand with them to see what we have to do.
And there's also a shortage of veterinarians in Canada as well. What is Ottawa doing to address that? The veterinarians are feeling burnt out and lots are leaving the profession.
Yeah, there's definitely a shortage of big animal veterinarians right across the country in every province. So that was part of the discussion last week as well, and we'll look forward to more discussions with them.
Just on a personal level, what are you kind of looking forward to with some of the things most about being here in Regina at Canadian Western Agribition?
Well, I think learning about the Agribition. I mean, obviously it's a celebration of agriculture, and as being the Minister of Agriculture and Agri-Food, gives me the opportunity to talk firsthand to farmers. I've been here to Saskatchewan before. The Minister was kind enough to take me around to several farms. I learn more there than I do in Ottawa in a boardroom.
I guess, what is your ministry doing with the situation that's going on with nutrient? How has your priorities changed about that? And now they're looking towards
with what? Sorry,
foreign investment, nutrient.
Foreign investment is extremely important. I think the Prime Minister was in the UAE. They signed an agreement for more foreign investment into this country, and agriculture was actually mentioned in that statement. So I look forward to getting more briefing on what he was talking about and what the opportunities are. I think it's extremely important that we keep foreign investment coming to Canada.
I guess my question was about Nutrien, who sort of chose another port.
Well, I mean, you know what? I think they'll regret it. I think down the road, what we're doing as a government with the Canada Infrastructure Build program that we put on, and we talked about the Port of Churchill. We're talking about Vancouver Port. I think it's premature to leave already. We have a government that knows and understands that logistics plays an integral part of getting product to market. We want to deal with that. You just mentioned foreign investment coming in from other countries. That's going to play a big significant role in that. So I think they'll regret it.
Mr. Harrison, what do you think about Nutrien selecting the United States over Canada for its latest potash terminal?
Well, no, certainly Saskatchewan being the leading potash producer in the world, it's important that we have access to tidewater, and unfortunately if they go that way, they're trying to do what's best for their business, but we need expanded port access, we need reliable rail service, and both need to be expanded.
Minister Harrison, just on the veterinarian issue, what is the province doing about that? Increase training seats at all? And get more of these vets working in rural Saskatchewan?
Yeah, no, correct, and Minister MacDonald's correct. Large animal vets in particular are what we're short of, and it's not just a Canada problem, it's a problem across the U.S. as well. When I meet with my colleagues in the U.S., the state ag secretaries, they're having the same issue as well. So we need to focus on those students that are going to want to live and practice in rural Saskatchewan, and primarily on large animals.
Minister MacDonald, one more on canola. What do you think is the likelihood that we find a resolution before harvest next year?
I'm optimistic. I think we'll find a resolution. I think when the Prime Minister met with the President of China, they directed their officials to go back and basically put a package together and talk about the impediments and barriers between the two countries. I think that's the first step. It does take a little time, but I certainly see. I'm being optimistic, obviously, but I think after my meeting and traveling to China and being welcomed like we were unsure at the time how we'd be received, but I can tell you we'll have more ministers going in the near future to China as well. So we're working hard to come with a package to resolve some of these issues.
With the recent trip to India, what are some of the outlooks for the tariffs on yellow peas?
Yeah, well, certainly, look, I think every once in a while, I think from what I'm told, this happens when they oversupply in their own country and it becomes domesticated. It's at 30% now. Hopefully with further discussions with Modi and the Prime Minister that we can resolve some of these issues going forward. I met with the High Commissioner Thursday, sorry, and we talked specifically about that. So there's, it's communication is key. I think you just can't. You got to pick the phone up. You got to go through the meeting door. You got to talk to these people. I mean, they're human beings. They want the best for their country just like we do. We just have to ensure that our voice is being heard.
And is it as easy as just saying we're going to drop the tariff on EVs? Like I know Minister Harrison have talked about this before too.
Well, you know what? It's certainly, that's part of it, I think. I think we have to be very careful. We want to ensure that whatever decisions we made, we do it strategically. I call it, and as I said to Daryl before, it's triangulation. We're in a geopolitical war with basically 3 countries in that front. So we want to make sure that whatever decision that we make is not going to affect any other sector or any other country. So we would just want to make sure that but I think we're going to get through the impasse on this, and we'll come out the other end as good as we ever were.
Do you speak French?
All right.
I guess what is province hoping for the renewed trade talks with between India and Canada?
Well, certainly Saskatchewan's presence in India has been strong all along. We've had a trade office there, and our staff there are just incredible. The connections they make. When I traveled there earlier this year, my meetings there were incredible, and we have to maintain that relationship. And it's nice that the federal government is on board and able to assist in that as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Do you think that your presence here is symbolic for this event?
Absolutely. I think it's incredible to be here, not only as the outgoing Miss Rodeo Agribition 2025, but the newly crowned Miss Rodeo Canada. There's only ever been 3 Miss Rodeo Canadas from Saskatchewan, and to be able to celebrate this at Canadian Western Agribition is incredibly special.
What has that journey been like?
It's been extremely busy from the day that I was crowned last year at the show to standing here today. I've put on over 20,000 kilometers this summer and just this year, and being able to represent this brand, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like our show in Canada, and it almost feels like in the world we have such a connection here to all the people that are in this building, and just even to our livestock and our agriculture. It's incredibly special.
Talk about your speech a little bit. Obviously, it was very heartfelt and well thought out, but just why it was so important to get those thoughts on paper and out into the world.
Absolutely. When I was writing that speech to compete for Miss Rodeo Canada, I knew that I wanted it to be about something that I was passionate about. And it didn't take me long to figure out that I wanted to do that speech on Saskatchewan and on this event. It's incredible to be able to represent something that you're so passionate about, and to be able to write that down and take that to a competition like Miss Rodeo Canada and explain to the people in that room exactly what event I'm representing and where I'm from. There was really nothing like it, and I feel today when I was giving that speech to every single person in this room, they knew exactly what I was feeling up on that stage and everything that I wrote down.
I know you mentioned it in your speech. Where are you originally from?
I'm from Edam, Saskatchewan.
The big city.
Can you talk about the support and love you've gotten from the province?
It's been remarkable. I can't even begin to express how thankful I am for the support that I received during my year, and then now as Miss Rodeo Canada 2026 and going into my year, it's going to be incredibly meaningful to come back to Saskatchewan with the title. Right now I'm a lady in waiting, and our 2025 Miss Rodeo Canada, Cody Wilson, she is joining us here on Wednesday at the show, so that's going to be really special to invite her to our province and allow her to see what Saskatchewan brings to the agriculture sector and rodeo sector. And I'm really, really grateful for all the support from my board, from Agribition, the family here. That's really what we are. We are a big family, and it's just been, I'm just so thankful for everything that they've given me.
Obviously, as you start, go ahead.
Oh no, do you have a favorite memory of going to Agribition?
Honestly, I went to Agribition before. Obviously, I was crowned Miss Rodeo Agribition, but last year, just being at the show and being on the other side of it, being involved and in the inner workings of the show, there's really, I can't pick just one great memory. You know, our show, we have so many great aspects to our show, and we offer so much to the agriculture community, and I just being able to represent this brand has been super, super meaningful to me.
Obviously, as you mentioned, it's been a really busy, 365 days for you, and it'll be a busy week, I imagine, too. But is there any kind of one or a couple of things you're looking forward to most about being here this week?
Yeah, absolutely. So even during my year, I was able to come to the Queen City X here in Regina, and I was able to put on horsemanship demos and teach people just a little bit about what I do in my personal life when I'm not, in crown and sash. And I'm really excited because they've allowed me time in the Brant Center this week, every day at noon, to do horsemanship demos and teach the people and the young kids a little bit more about riding and the way of life that we live. So I'm really, really excited for that.
You had mentioned in your speech how you felt this room would really get that sentiment, what was in there. And throughout your journey, do you think that message has been received well across Canada now, that people know about Saskatchewan?
Yeah, I think so. I think we definitely have some more work to do, especially in the Canadian Professional Rodeo Association, with just accepting that we are so much larger than just one province, and I think being able to be Miss Rodeo Canada and being from Saskatchewan, I think that's going to be really special to shed light on the fact that we also put out a lot of great things in the agriculture world and the rodeo world, and I'm really excited to be able to do that and be that face for Saskatchewan this year.
And you had mentioned too, you really looked up to Her Honor Bernadette. What was that like to share the stage with her just a few moments ago?
It was incredible. She has done so much for Canadian Western Agribition, and just to be involved with it as heavily as she has for 50 years, I look up to her so much in so many ways, and she did that out of the goodness of her heart. She was she's the longest volunteer, and to be able to do that and share in those memories like she has, I just think that's incredible. I hope one day 50 years down the line that I too could be standing on that stage like she was today. It's just incredible.
She's an all-around wonderful lady.
She is.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Please, thank you.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
Don't get this on camera. I'm just going to fix my shirt. Thank you.
I've asked you this question before this morning, but I just wanted to have it the same answer. But how important is it to have agribition here in Saskatchewan? What does it bring to Saskatchewan?
I think it's incredibly important. Any time that an event can inject, over $120 million into the provincial economic impact is incredibly important. Our event happens what's traditionally a tourism downtime. So when we can fill hotels and restaurants and then things like that, I think it's incredibly important. We run at 84% occupancy throughout the entire city, and then we cap out around 91, 92 as we get to the tail end of the events. That's incredibly important for the hotels and the restaurants, and we're proud that we can bring this event to the people of Saskatchewan.
But it's not only for econ here in Saskatchewan, right? You told me before that it was also a way to learn to people that food is safe, right?
Yeah, we want to make sure that we can educate people in agriculture. Food just doesn't just show up on shelves. We want to show that it's sustainable, that it's safe, that the animals are well cared for. But it's also business. We do a lot of traveling international. This is our exhibitors' livelihoods in those barns. So we want to make sure that we're bringing buyers from not just Canada but internationally as well to buy, whether that's live animals or genetics, to support their outfits as well.
You talk about that educational aspect. Obviously, this is a big draw for the school-age children. What do you think they kind of can glean out of something as big as this?
Well, again, I think it's awesome. As we sit here and do this interview, we got nothing but kids walking by. The education's a huge part of Agribition. You talk to almost any of the older generation here, and they all remember coming as a kid. They, again, going through the barns, seeing the education, seeing the machinery. Again, it's just important to really showcase, that Saskatchewan is agriculture. So.
Yeah, we heard too that there was an increase in the number of kids, 2,000 young bodies coming through the doors. Was that weather or just good promotion or both?
I think it's a little bit of everything. We've got fantastic weather, but I think we have a great education program. And I think it's building momentum. That it lost a little bit of momentum heading into the pandemic as we had to go virtual and to make things sure that things are safe for children. We've got things are safe. We've come out of the pandemic. Things are moving. We've built on our education program. We're continuing to evolve. It's just we want to make sure that there's value. The teachers are bringing them out of school. It's not just a field trip to come and have snow cones. There's a lot of education happens, and we take that very seriously.
Can you talk a little bit about attendance? How many people you expect to see throughout this week and stuff?
We've continued to grow the last 3 years. I'm hoping to have the same this year. The things that we can measure, a lot of the people that come through gates buy at the gate, so I don't have trends on that. Our rodeo is, Saturday's already sold out, which has never happened to us before. Friday's only got a couple hundred, that are left. We've got, and then once those two sell out, then Thursday really gets moving. But our grain expo's on par with last year. Our Indigenous Agriculture Summit has doubled. Our education is up. A lot of the trends that we're seeing, everything is up. So we're really hoping for another good year. And Mother Nature's been very kind to us so far, knock on wood. But we're hoping for a great week. But again, we don't get to do it if people don't support by buying tickets. So we're incredibly grateful that people do buy the tickets and support the show. And we hope people, Agribition is about bringing people together, and we're excited to do that this week.
What's the difficult part of organizing all of this?
I don't know if there is a difficult part. We're very fortunate. We've got a great crew. Our crew's been around here a long time. Our staff have done a couple of shows now. We're really into rhythm, and we're very fortunate. We have 51 weeks to plan, so I expect our team to be ready, and I think they have been this week. And the gates are open, kids are here, and we're ready to roll.
I don't mean to ask you a hard question, but ballpark, how many volunteers does it take to put this on?
We're nearly 500.
Really?
So which is very special. We've also got paid part-time staff. I've got 11 full-time people who work year-round on the event. But again, it doesn't happen without our volunteers and our contractors and staff. And we're just very appreciative of everybody that does support the event. And it's not me that gets to do it. I'm very fortunate. I get to stand up and take the limelight a lot of it. But again, it's our volunteers and our crew are the backbone of this organization, along with our board and staff.
And for those who haven't been, what's your sales pitch for them to come on down?
Again, if you can come to Agribition and don't have some fun, I want you to find it. I want you to find me personally and let me know why you didn't have fun. But again, I know I joke, but there is something here for everybody. If you want to come and shop, I've got over 400 trade show exhibitors here. I've got a great shopping. We've got the livestock. We're standing in the beer gardens. Things are getting ready to really fire up. Once we get the cameras up, we'll get some music going and some food and drink flowing. But we've also got entertainment in the Brand Center. We've got rodeo, education. But for those that this year we introduced a sensory hour on Saturday morning. For people to be able to come for people who may not have been able to come in the past, just due to maybe it's overstimulation, whatever that may be. But we want to make sure it's a safe and inclusive place for people to come and enjoy Agribition. No, I know how to throw a rope real good, but that's about it. I leave it for the crazy guys. But
are you already planning on the next year event, or?
A little bit. There's some things that, again, we're always making sure that we're putting it on a hoist to make sure that we can always improve. But we're going to try and enjoy this week, and we'll make some notes of things that go well and don't go well to make sure that we can continue to evolve and continue to be even more successful. So.
After 54 years, you're still tweaking.
Yeah, there's no way. Complacency is not in our vocabulary. We want to make sure that we continue to evolve. We want this to continue to be the best show possible, and we want to continue to make sure that people see value and have some fun.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.